Welcome to Mike's apartment, where we do a little bit of drinking reviews along with some geeky side talk. I am Mike. I'm your host. With me tonight is my co-host Thom. Thom, how are we doing tonight?
Well, a couple things. So first off, I've been working on a troll look for myself. So here's the
Woo!
review.
Woo!
I've
There we.
got the chunky body, and now I've got the crazy hair. But I'm gonna put that away, so it's not distracting. And then also, we're gonna talk about AI in a little bit, and I've been playing around with mine today and discovered, Mike, this might be surprising to you. After talking to my AI today, I discovered I might be good with dogs. Like I could maybe adopt a dog or something, or foster or something, and be good for the dog. So I'm kind of excited about that.
I sort of thought that was already happening, but all right.
Oh shit, you're right. I've got three dogs right now, and never mind.
Yeah.
Well,
Um.
you had to ruin the joke.
Well, tonight we are going to review everyone's favorite,
I don't know if it's gonna be
Budweiser.
mine.
It may not
I'm
be
worried I'm
mine
not gonna
either.
like it.
So on Mike's apartment, our review system. Five is the top. It's ambrosia. It's food of the gods. Zero. Zero is shit. Shit of the gods. It's not anything. We don't like it. We will see with this. So I would say, without much further ado, Thom, let's crack open this Budweiser and cheers, my
Uh,
friend. Cheers.
cheers, cheers.
Do what you gotta do. Um. Well, I mean, we'll definitely rate later, but it's not. It's not as bad as I thought. I mean,
Yeah,
I can
I
um,
I
I
was
can see.
expecting not to like it at all,
It's
but
not. It's not bitter. I mean, hmm, yeah. I mean, anyways,
I
yeah.
guess I'm not gonna put it to the side and forget about it.
No, 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 definitely not that. All right, so let's discuss for a moment. So we have our serious discussion before we have our I guess, less serious discussion. So let's talk about it. So in the news today, especially, and anyone can go, off and see what they think
No.
as well. Um, Artificial intelligence. Our Department of Defense slash Department of War, depending on how you feel about Pete Hegseth, I guess. How you feel about that? What's going on is they would like a LLM, a large learning model, our a basically our generative AI that we use every day, like ChatGPT. They would like something like that for both mass surveillance on the citizens living here in the United States, plus autonomous weapon systems, meaning military systems that
Like
act,
Skynet. Oh wait,
well,
no, not Skynet.
it could be
No, no.
Skynet. It'd be very similar to that, but something that would act autonomously without
Yeah.
human oversight. They would, well, while they say it would never come to that, that's something they're asking for now. Anthropic. Uh, they're more of the how do we explain them exactly? They're more of the good, well, you could say good guys. You could say they're the preventative movement that say that AI is not ready to handle those things. They're saying no, you cannot use our generative AI, our LLM, in this manner. Now,
Hmm.
ChatGPT slash OpenAI slash Sam Altman. Sam is saying you also cannot use it like this way, but let's discuss it. Let's talk about it. Which means he's a little bit more open to these suggestions than just what is being said. Again, Sam Altman, that's OpenAI, that's ChatGPT, who is mostly dealing with Microsoft right now, but apparently, they're moving over a little bit too. Now, on the far end, I mean, how do I even say the far end? Um, let's just say this. It would here's like my little spiel here, and I'll just say it really quick. I don't know all of the information about everything. I'm not claiming to be a know-all, tell-all, whatever about the situation. What I will say is this. After 9/11, the Patriot Act gave unprecedented powers to our government to surveil both the civilian population and in the military to continue with some things that we would never be okay with. Now, after all these things have happened, we never gave those powers never came back. They were always in the government. The government was always saying, yes, we need these powers. Yes, we cannot keep you secure without this, right? That never came back. Now, in an unprecedented act here, I would say anyways, from my, again, I'm not saying I know everything. I'm not, I may have a very limited opinion here, but I'll just say this. It doesn't feel right to do what OpenAI / Sam Altman is saying is just okay. Just give the government whatever they need to surveil us. I mean, my question would be, what happened to like personal privacy? What happened to, and people are like, well, if you're not doing anything wrong, you don't need that. And it's like, that may be true, but you also don't need. Here's a okay. So here's a principle. So in IT cybersecurity, right? IT cybersecurity, there is a principle of least privilege. What that means is if you don't need the access, then you don't need the privilege. Which means if you don't need it, you don't have it. And I would like to see more of that in a governmental type role over the surveillance. Like if you don't need to know these things about citizens, then you don't need to have the access to know that to begin with, right? Like it could be anything. Like any kind of deviance from the norm of American life, they don't need to be up on all that. I mean, some of that just sounds like an overreach to me. And then Tom, you could tell me how you feel about that, but some of that feels like too much. It's an overreach, and I don't think we should give over our privacy to generative AI, which could come back with almost fucking anything about us. I mean, anything that we do that might be not the same as everyone else. I mean, fuck that noise. But go ahead, Tom. I'm sorry, Tom. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. I there's a couple thoughts going through my mind. One issue which I want to come back to is how AI can hallucinate things.
Oh, that's a great one.
But I want to come back to that. I I don't know why, but as you were talking about this, my mind kind of went back to like the '60s and '70s, whatever. Back, say, like when, say, Rosa Parks and MLK Jr. and all them, when they would have their meetings, what would have happened had the government had the ability to surveil those meetings? Because I'm sure there were people in government who were opposed to what their goals were with rights and of every African Americans, but which can be extended to other minorities and stuff.
Sure.
Uh, how would our nation look had we had those abilities back then, and then maybe monitored those, and then interfered with them? Because I'm sure, I mean, there's going to be times when we need that kind of privacy going forward to make corrections in our society, whatever. I think we need to have those freedoms protected. Um, Now about the hallucinations. Um, I've been playing around a lot in the last couple months here with AI for helping optimize some of our videos and stuff like that, or some of the stuff on my channel and stuff like that, and what ideas for like shorts and whatever, and descriptions and hashtags and all that kind of stuff. I'm not good at figuring that stuff out. So using an AI that's familiar with what works for the algorithm, it's great. But I found that the longer my conversation gets, the more opportunities it has to hallucinate and mix up details. So um, sometimes I might have made a joke about something. 'Cause you talk to your AI differently than I do. Sometimes I'll
Sure.
throw in a joke and talk to it like a person. Those sometimes those jokes kind of roll into expanding into an actual idea that I like for something. But so I don't necessarily filter all that out. But as the conversation gets longer and longer, I find that I sometimes I just have to start fresh and start all over with a brand new conversation because the AI keeps on incorporating things that are out of line with the idea that I have that I've grown into or whatever. So um, it, I don't know about what level AI the government has access to, but the LLMs and other AI solutions that are available, I think, still require human supervision to keep on track. So having an AI monitor us for security reasons, they might identify a risk that doesn't exist, and then what happens to the person who's being scrutinized all of a sudden? What if, I mean, are people going to show up at their door, like cops, or whatever, to arrest you for something that the AI hallucinated? I'd be, I'm, I, I mean, I think that's, and of course, eventually we have the Terminator, uh,
Wow.
like Skynet, but I don't think AI should have autonomous uh, privileges in any area, at least not now. Oh,
I
crap on
I
my back.
I I couldn't agree with you more. I also thought that the fact that if we as consumers are feeling the hallucination noise, like I mean, it's not
Mm,
just you, Tom. I mean, I have noticed it in my use of AI as well. It will say something completely off base.
mm,
And the thing is this, like, even if they say, like, oh, we'll have human oversight, we'll have someone from the intelligence, whatever department watching what they say, it's like, you know what, even today, this very day, we have had, SWAT teams show up at the wrong
mm.
address, kill
Oh,
someone,
yeah.
kill
Yeah.
someone, and we still allow that noise. Like they're not even using AI, and they still get facts wrong to the point where SWAT teams show up at someone's house. They have nothing to do with anything with whatever they're trying to execute, and they end up killing
Yeah.
someone. That happens, and there was that was their African American lady who was killed. The SWAT team showed up, shot shots, and it just happened to go through the wall and kill this lady. I mean, so that's what we're working with here. Like we're working with a base that already to begin with is questionable. Like right, like we don't
Yeah.
even know.
Well, facial recognition stuff gets it wrong too
It,
sometimes, right?
yeah. Oh
So,
yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Like you cannot trust this 100%. and you want to move further, you suddenly want to go further with this to a point where no one is comfortable. And I mean, and I'm sorry. You know what? Sam Altman might personally be a very smart, very strategic, like kind of
Mm-hmm.
mind, and I've actually looked a little bit into him myself a bit. But I will just say this: he is not. He wants this because it will make him billions of dollars more. He's already a billionaire. This will make him even more of a billionaire. That that's the other, the greed factor, the money
Mm-hmm.
factor that you have to look into also, which is this person is not acting from a position of careful, looking into all
Mm-hmm.
the details. They want some more fucking money. And the thing is this, he already has tried to invest another 110 billion dollars into more of this, which again, I'm not saying I know everything about it, but I would say be hesitant because we don't we don't know exactly how, and like you said, like with the hallucinations with AI, they haven't figured that out. They don't. They say it happens for this reason or not, and you say you notice it, later into your conversations, with the AI.
Well,
I think it
sometimes it
happens
happens
even.
early on too.
Yeah,
It could
exactly.
happen, but
Exactly. It can happen at any point. And now
yeah.
suddenly you want to put this same these large learning models in charge of things that there are obviously they may not be in control of. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
no, hell no. Why would we allow such a thing? I mean, that doesn't seem
Well,
right.
we could end up with the iRobot scenario too,
Well, well,
where
well,
the
yeah.
AI just takes over our lives because it has to protect us from ourselves.
Yeah, well,
But
at this
it
point
was
though,
that it
it's
was
because it's
was.
convenient, right? Like it's
Mhm.
convenient. It's easy just to trust an AI without questioning in it,
Yeah,
and that's the easy route. But the thing is, we should constantly be questioning such things. And
yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I
I
don't
you
think we're
know
at the point
I think
where we can just trust AI to handle mass
yeah.
surveillance. I don't even think we should be doing mass surveillance at like at the minimum of where we're at now.
Yeah,
I don't even feel like right now we should be doing it. Not to mention
yeah.
expanding such powers.
Well, I mean,
I
I
mean,
could see, so I could maybe see the allure. Sorry, I'm waving this little
no, it's
jaw harp I just bought
it's
around.
okay.
I'm fidgeting with it, but
All right.
I, it's an instrument that I'm whatever. It's in long story. Anyways, I I could see the allure of using AI because it's capable of analyzing mass amounts of data that would take us how many years to analyze? I mean, astronomers are using it with like the James Webb telescope
Sure.
that was recently, sent out to space. Was it 2025 or 24? I don't remember when it was sent up, but it's been analyzing all these vast amounts of space that would take us ages in comparison to, and it reviews it in like minutes. And they've discovered galaxies with it, and so I mean it's great, but kind of back to the point, the AI is helping analyze that, but then the humans go back and review the data and look at those data points, whatever, for to verify and validate the information that it found. So um, the AI can be great for helping us reduce the amount of time it takes to review a large amount of data. Let's say there are people that need to be surveilled. I'm sure there are. That's, I mean, but I mean, everybody. First off, I don't think everybody needs to be surveilled, but even the amount of people that are, or whatever data that the government has to go through, I think AI can help reduce the amount of time it takes to review it, the information, and then maybe it can help expedite finding solutions to various problems. But I think that the concept of just surveilling en masse, from what I understand from the story, is that I mean that's just a waste of resources and an invasion of
Well,
privacy, an
yeah,
unnecessary invasion of privacy.
I would just point out this. What they feel is the amount of information they need versus what they need. I would say this: human oversight is always needed. Now, on the government itself, don't just allow the government to surveil
No,
everything.
yeah,
Citizen oversight of the government, surveilling the civilian population is always needed. Like, it cannot just be this open ticket, hey, look at whatever the fuck you want, and yeah, go arrest whoever you want, do whatever.
we need some petty officers in there to help
Yeah,
manage.
we need civilian oversight of the government that's attempting oversight of itself.
Civilians. Yeah,
Well, I'm just saying, like, well,
yeah.
you can word it however you want, but yeah, it's we need civilians, people who are not involved in the military or any part of government, to also be part of that in my opinion anyways, they need to be part of that process. There needs to be people who have no vested interest in the process to be in charge of the oversight of that process. That's all I'm like trying to say.
What we need is Bushmen from Australia to be
Bush,
the oversight committee
the ab
of
the
AI.
the aboriginals. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and they can talk with their clicks and whatever, and
How dare you, Tom?
we'll have an
How
AI to
dare
translate.
you?
We'll have an AI to
How
translate.
dare you, Tom? No, I'm just kidding.
Uh,
I don't know about all that, but yeah, we
no,
we definitely
well,
need like.
I was being extreme with your non-invested oversight committee,
Anyways,
but
long story short,
very sarcastic.
yeah, we need a little bit more. All right, so let's hop ahead here a little bit.
I will say that if
Um,
we had somebody like Gene Roddenberry to help us
well,
figure out an
he's
AI that we could use to manage things,
well,
maybe we
Gene
could do it.
Roddenberry has unfortunately passed away many, 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 many years ago.
I
His
wouldn't trust Alex Kurtz to take over and help with the computer stuff,
um, no, we would not.
but anyways, that's kind of leading into another topic. But we're gonna do our rating.
Sure. Um, all right, my friend, you go first. 5 to 0. What is it?
Um, I think I I thought of this initially, and it's been thinking, going through my mind. I think I'll give this Budweiser a 3.
Okay, it's
I'm
not
not a
bad.
beer guy, but it's not great. It's not bad. It's just kind of I can kind of drink it. I might not finish it. I don't know because this is a big can of beer and it might get warm before I can finish it, and I don't like warm
Oh,
beer.
I hear you.
But so
All right, you know what? Honestly, I'm gonna say the same thing. 3. It's it's not bad. I mean, it's all right. I don't know. I
yeah,
mean, it's okay. I'll give it a 3. I mean, it's not perfect. It's not overwhelmingly like delicious, but it's also not overwhelmingly bad. I mean,
I'm not writing home about it, but
it's all right. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, yeah. All right. So there we go with that. We've sort of talked a little bit about the whole what we feel about AI and how it may or may not be intrusive on everyday life. I guess the only thing to go back to now would be we were going to talk about Star Trek Next Generation a bit without focusing. Here's the thing, everyone. We don't always have like a 100% complete,
planned out.
thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to just talk about Star Trek Next Generation a bit. We may go off in angles that are not conceivably what you may think, but we're going to do it anyways because you know what? Thom and I
That's
love
inconceivable.
yeah, it's inconceivable. We love this type of shit. We love the whole
Yeah.
unknown. We want to explore the unknown as much as Star Trek Next Generation wanted to. And excuse me for that, but and
Well,
also too, I will say excuse me. You know what? I'm just gonna say this, dudes. I know I had got this cut on my chin. Okay, you know what? Fuck you all. Fuck you all. You know what?
Mike just started shaving. Give him a break.
I did not just start shaving, but you know what? It still fucking happens. And all of us know that. Anyone who is shaving, male or female, whatever your thing is, you know that sometimes a little cut happens. And sometimes, you know what? You can't do anything about it. So I can't do anything about it. It's here. Comment on it if you really want to. Otherwise, let's continue with our Star Trek. Now,
I just
let's
got to point out that's nothing like the time I got the brick to my face, the cement
oh,
block, the chin. But we don't have to talk. We don't have to compare,
no, no,
or I don't
no.
have.
Go on.
We don't
No,
have
no,
to.
no, no, no. Thom, please. I insist. Please. I want you to tell the full story of the cement
Full
block, and I
story.
am not going
Can
to
I
interrupt
include?
you. I'm not going to interrupt you. Go
Okay.
ahead. Please, my
This is a
friend. Go
reference.
ahead.
I tried telling this story the other night in our role playing game, and Mike interrupted me with a bunch of questions.
No, no, no,
But
no. Not
you know,
Mike. Other
well,
other M.
everybody did.
Other M interrupted you. I was just a
We
person.
don't talk about Methuselah. He's old.
Methuselah.
He needs to die.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
So no, I'm
Anyways,
kidding. Anyways, no,
just
but
tell us the story. Let's hear it.
okay,
Let's hear the
okay.
story. Just
It,
just
it,
do it.
it's
Just do
nothing.
it.
It's not nothing fantastic. No grandiose, whatever. It was my first summer job, and I worked for the city crew of the small town of Crosby in Minnesota, up by Brainerd, Minnesota, if you know the area. But anyways,
No, we don't.
uh, our job that day was the high school in Crosby. There was a section of sidewalk and the street that had broken up. So we had like some cement blocks and blocks of asphalt that we put in the back of a dump truck, and then we were going to fill it in, and then we took the pieces back to an area that we were used for throwing garbage and stuff out. And so after lunch, I was sitting in the middle, and we had the driver. It was me in the middle, and then my coworker sitting on the outside. The driver stayed in the truck. It was an old truck. He had to keep his foot on the brakes or whatever, and or maybe that's just what he told us, so he didn't have to do work. But anyways, my buddy got out. I got out. My buddy got around to the back, picked up a block of cement, and went like this to throw it back. As I came around the corner, he clocked me in the chin, and so I ended up. I was like, that's actually kind of weird. I felt like a breeze on my chin in a weird way. Anyways, um, I picked up a couple chunks and threw them off the back, and my buddy was like, maybe you need to go get like a band-aid or something. You're like bleeding pretty bad. I was like, oh yeah, I'm bleeding pretty bad. So I went up. There's a first aid kit on the door when I opened it up. So I opened that up, and the driver, Paul, I think was his name, was like, "What are you doing, Thom?" I said, "I think I need a band-aid." He's like, "Thom, get up here. You're bleeding pretty bad. We're gonna take you to the ER." So to go to the ER and got a bunch of stitches on the inside and the outside, whatever, and it was a much worse gash than I thought it was. But that's kind of how I got a scar on my chin versus shaving. But
That's that's
some,
uh,
I'm just
that's
more,
a
just more.
wonderful that's a wonderful tale, Thom. I'm glad you could regale us with such a
I left out
story.
some details. Do you want to hear all the details I left out? No, I'm kidding.
Not really. I just want you to look at this little cut on my chin and realize I have no story. I cut myself. That's it. No story. That shit
Mike, are you
happened.
okay? you want to talk? I mean, is she in the other room? If you're not safe, blink twice.
I don't know how many times did I blink. Shit, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. They're after me, though. I tell you that, Tom. They're after me. No, I'm just kidding.
It's a good thing we've got AI surveilling you so that
Oh, fuck
the
yeah. I mean,
authorities will
thank
show
God
up.
they're here.
So so Star Trek. So okay,
Let's go
so we
far.
were
Oh,
talking.
hold on. Start with Farpoint. Start with Farpoint.
Well,
You
first
can't
off,
start. Okay.
I wanted to get your because we were talking about our initial reactions when the show first came out.
Sure.
So I had grown up watching the original series with Spock, Kirk, and
I
McCoy,
had
and
not.
uh, with my dad. My dad loved that show, and so when Next Gen came out, did you? What was your initial thoughts? What were your initial thoughts about the show? Did you have
Um,
any, or were you excited?
no, no, Tom. I didn't. Because here was the deal. I did not watch the original series, TOS, the original series, until later. My first impressions and examples of it was all from Next Generation. I would stay up. So here's the thing. My parents didn't know. I had this little television and it would go black and white, but it would also go like color, right?
Mhm.
And I would watch 2 episodes every night of the Next Generation. I would watch it from 9 to 10 and then 10 to 11, and my parents had no idea. And I stayed up every night and watched it. Now, also, additionally to that, on Sunday nights, I would watch Hercules, The Legendary Journeys, and Xena Warrior Princess.
Oh my
Also,
gosh.
also just on Sunday nights when they
Kevin
aired.
Sorbo from Minnesota, from the Twin Cities area, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah, Kevin Sorbo, yeah, who played Hercules. Yeah, he was from Minnesota. I watched that on Sunday nights, but like all the other nights, I would watch, yeah, again, from 9 to 10 and then 10 to 11, I would watch 2 episodes of Next Generation every single night. My parents had almost no idea I was doing it. And of course, the worst part is, like, downstairs on the TV down there, they had like at the time it was like the 90s, so like MTV was like a
Yeah.
thing and it was on their TV, but I could never sneak down and watch it. So I had to watch it upstairs on that crappy television. But no, 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 no. I watched it every night. And there was this kid, and I hate to like say it, but no, he was a Jewish kid named Aaron, and Aaron and I on the bus every morning would talk about the Next Generation, the Star Trek episodes. We were such nerds. Like other kids would like constantly like when he and I were talking about it, they'd be like, "Hey, you two fuckers," or whatever. Us two nerds talking about Star Trek. But he and I would just like ignore them, and honestly, we would just ignore them and like keep talking. Aaron and
Hmm.
I were. I don't know what Aaron's doing now. I'm sure he's probably successful, whatever he's doing. But yeah, me and him would talk about it every morning. I mean, it
Hmm.
was such a great
Were you watch, Were you watching reruns, or were you watching like
reruns,
the first
reruns,
time through?
reruns.
Okay.
Because honestly, at the time, it was like the late '90s, so Next Generation was kind of off, and Deep Space Nine and Voyager were sort of on, but I didn't watch those shows until later, so
Yeah.
I wasn't really aware. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Deep Space Nine and Voyager, but at the time I didn't. I was only watching Next Generation, you know,
Yeah.
for whatever
Yeah. My
reasons.
my intro was a little different. So I grew up. My dad loved the original series with Kirk and Spock, and you know, and I'd seen like the movies and stuff, and like the Wrath of Khan, the Voyage
Ooh.
Home. I love those movies with saving the whales. I'm an animal lover. I'm not not
That
like
was
that
the
one.
one that most people hated, but okay.
Well, I don't think it was hated as much as crap. What was the one where Kirk ended up fighting God at the end, who turned out not to be God or something? I think that was maybe the
Uh,
least favorite. But
okay.
which, but that there's a long story that I would love to go into on that. But we're talking about next gen. So when we got to next gen, so in the original series, I mean, the people that beamed down to the planet were generally you had Kirk, Spock, McCoy, uh, and maybe a few red shirts.
Yep.
Red shirts became synonymous with like if you were wearing a red shirt, they're probably going to die on the planet unless their name is Scotty, you know, uh, or
Poor
another,
Scotty.
yeah, or
No,
another
I hear you.
named character.
I hear
But
you.
excuse. So, anyways, now introduce next gen. You have Picard, Riker, who some people say was like a backup for a backup Kirk in case the experiment with the
Sure.
bald diplomat didn't work out. Which he generally went down to the planet, which I mean it really doesn't make sense for your senior officers to be the landing party, right? But I mean it's drama. You got to have what and you have your main characters, whatever. Anyways, it was fun, but it wasn't Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. But I did like the idea of an android, Data.
Oh.
Uh, and then, of course, Geordi, I thought was pretty cool. I had grown up on reading Rainbow, so LeVar Burton, seeing him in a sci-fi capacity was fun. And he had the cool little visor thing because he was blind, which I've heard commentary from like Red Letter Media and stuff saying they really liked that they never used his blindness as like an issue in the show form. I mean, there were a couple episodes that focused on it, but like there was an episode where he ended up on a planet with I think a Romulan, and they had to
Yep.
depend on each other because of I think what did he lose his visor or something, and then the Romulan had some other injury or something that they had to
Yep. He
rely on each
had to
other.
speak to him through the through that medium.
Yeah.
No, no, you're absolutely right. Yeah,
So,
that is what happened. Yeah.
so but I'm bouncing around a little bit. But anyways, my initial response was, "It's not Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. How can this be good? Oh, this looks interesting." And then they, of course, introduced Q in that first episode, Encounter at Farpoint. And then I think I ended up only catching random episodes here and there until um, the Best of Both Worlds, which I think was the season finale of season three, where the Borg came in,
Yep.
and it ended with that cliffhanger of Riker about to destroy the Borg cube with Picard on it or whatever, and then I had to wait months for the
To see what
resolution.
happens. Yeah.
People don't understand what that was like, but did you when you watched those two episodes? Were they back to back, or did you have to wait for the resolution?
No, they were not back to. I mean, fortunately or unfortunately, yeah. No, I did not have to wait. Well, by the time I was watching it, it was in the late '90s, and they had already aired most of these.
Uh,
Well, I won't even say most. All they had aired all of these episodes, and yes, I was able to wait for it, and it was yeah, and they were great. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, like I said, like
yeah.
every bus ride to school was with Aaron, and Aaron always was watching the same episodes as I was, and we had great conversations about it. Yeah, for better or for worse, yeah, they were not about current things. At that point, Next Generation had ended. Their series had ended,
Oh,
and it was all
so they
about
were
Deep
already
Space Nine. Yeah, I mean Deep Space Nine, and even like Voyager started in 1995 and went to 2001. So even like Voyager was like the main game going on, and I was not. I was still watching reruns of Next Generation,
next one.
but don't get me wrong though. I mean, like I loved
I
I loved every
yeah.
episode of all of them. I mean, to be honest, I mean, I
Well, they
it's
had
all
some
great.
episodes that I was like, I don't know. Do you remember the what was the episode? I think it was in like season one or two, where they had those little bugs that were like possessing people or whatever, and then they had at the main bug lived inside this admiral or whatever, and they ended up like
That
blowing up his
was,
torso when the
dude. That was the first season of Next Generation at
yeah
the end. That was the very first
yeah
season. Yeah, the Admiral. Yeah, yeah. That bug that looked like completely
yeah.
nonsense.
Oh, and the phasers took
Yeah,
forever. You could like
yeah. Shoot
someone
him.
could shoot at you, and you could like wait and then like jump out of the way.
Yeah, dude. No, no. That was first
Yeah,
season Next
yeah.
Generation, and yes, I remember it very well. But no, that's not
I
what I would.
I think there were good and bad episodes, and the first two seasons were a lot of trial and error. I've heard it said that if you want to check out Next Gen and you haven't seen it, yet. Start with season three. You can always go back and watch season one and two. But if I'm like, but I mean, season one.
There
I mean, you
was
have the
there was the Riker episode about, it was called Gray something, and it was literally just mishmashed episodes of what had
yeah,
already happened, and it was terrible, and no
it
one wants
was.
to
And
see it.
the season
Um,
finale. Well,
that
the
was
reason they had episodes like that was because
the
they had
writers the
26.
writers strike, right? The writers strike was going on.
Well, there might have been a writer's strike,
I think it
but
was a
there are a
writer. I
lot.
think it
There are
100% was a writer's strike, but
there are a lot of shows that are serialized that will do that. Have those episodes where it's just flashbacks to previous episodes. And the reason a lot of shows will do that is because of the cost. They
sure.
have to make back. I mean, now we're doing like prestige shows with 6 to maybe 10 or 11 episodes. They were doing like 23 to 26 episodes per season.
Well,
And they sometimes they'd
that's
have a cave episode where everything happened in the cave with two people, or that episode, the episode where they had flashbacks to multiple other episodes.
no, that's a
So
hundred percent true. I mean, that was the thing back then. Back in the good old days, the '90s, 2000s, whatever. You could have the 26 episodes in a season and have 7 seasons. Now you're lucky if you can have like 8 to 10 episodes in a single season. And that's the thing.
you
Like,
get 3 seasons.
well, here's the thing. Like, I know you're not like a big fan or whatever, but I think SFA, which is, just Starfleet Academy, I think they're great. I mean, honestly, yes,
I'm really not a fan. I haven't seen them, so I can't
they're
be
not
one
the
way or
they're
another.
they're not the same as the older series, but in my opinion, they're great. I mean, they have all the needed details, they have all the things that matter,
An
and
animated series with a live action.
well, these are live action. Like, they're like if you look at like
Okay.
Starfleet Academy, I mean, there's like the issues that people have. Like, for example, there is a gay Klingon. I mean, honestly,
Okay.
at this point, I don't. Who
Yeah.
gives a shit? I mean,
Okay.
I mean, really, who cares if there's a gay Klingon or not? But apparently,
My,
some people
my
do.
only my only complaint with the use of some of those types of characters, like gay,
Sure.
bisexual, or whatever, is when that becomes a point of the movie or the show. Like I used to watch the show Supergirl on the CW, and I really liked it. They introduced a trans character who I thought was a great character, but then the show became a soapbox for representation of trans people in equal whatever versus other shows where those kinds of characters are there and they're just treated like a regular character
I
as
think
that belongs. And
okay.
so I I might be sparking some controversy here, but I prefer to I don't mind including characters with those kinds of backgrounds or that's who they are, but I don't think a story should be specifically about that, unless if that's what your point was initially. But with like a show like Supergirl, I don't think that's what it started off as, and then that just became a soapbox.
Okay, so
As
here's what I would just like say about it. When how do I say it exactly? When the characters are here's like the thing. Older Star Trek, everything was allegory. Like all the social messages, like that episode with Riker, with
in
the
the
with the
non-binary
gender
show,
no the gender
well,
issue,
yeah,
there are a lot of
yeah,
episodes,
yeah,
and they're all
yeah,
allegory though. Like they're all like
yeah,
about something else, but they don't dig into it, right?
yeah,
Like they're all
yeah.
allegory. Um, and you do
Well, there was
that
one
against
episode they
which
had
one?
the race that had no gender, but
Yeah.
then the characters decided they wanted to, well, in today's terms, identify as female, but that was against their culture, and
And you're
uh,
talking about the
they
Riker
were gonna,
episode, right? The Riker.
yeah, 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 and then,
That's but again, it was allegory at the time. It was not
yeah,
direct. It's not direct framing. Like there
no,
wasn't a direct like this is this, this is this. Now in modern times, the characters are direct. For example, the gay Klingon is with a human named Kyle, and they are kissing and lovey-dovey.
okay,
You know what I mean? Like they are direct. It's direct framing. It's different than allegory. It's not just talking about something that could happen. It's something that's actually happening, and that's the biggest difference that I see. But I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with direct framing among the characters. Like if
yeah,
there's a gay character, I could care. Honestly, it does not bother me in the least. I don't care that there's a
yeah,
gay Klingon having kissy time with a human named Kyle. Like that doesn't bother me. But I get
no,
like these old
no,
timers though. These old timers, these people who watched like Next Generation. Their problem is all of the social messaging kind of happened in allegory. And even like the original
yeah,
series, like the episode like on this what is it called? On this battlefield or whatever. And that's the one with they had the black on one side and the white on the other side, and then the other one which is white on the other side.
oh,
That was on this battlefield. Like that again.
I vaguely
That
remember that
was
one, yeah,
well, that was one of the big like racial messages in TV shows at the time. But again, it was allegory. They didn't directly like Kirk and Spock and McCoy. None of them were like directly like involved in it. It was just what was happening, right? So
yeah.
that's what I'm
And I don't
talking
mind
about.
there being episodes where, let's
But
say, in
when metaphor is the problem, you can't solve like you can't you can't throw metaphor at a character like Riker. Like Riker's gonna do what Riker's gonna do. It's not about what he could do. It's this is what Riker's doing. And yeah, at the
Mhm.
time it pushed buttons, but the reality is like yeah, more modern Star Trek is going to talk about things in direct framing where they have characters that are gay or trans or whatever, and less about and then the old timers. Well, we'll call them old timers. I mean, whatever you want to call them,
Mhm.
the people who loved how Star Trek handled issues before. That's allegory. Like they're talking
Mhm.
about things they're talking about metaphors. They're not like right. I don't know. I,
Yeah.
help me out here, Tom. Help me out here. I don't know.
I
Help me out.
so my mind is kind of going on to a different show, if
Sure.
I can bring it in real quick.
Of
It's
course.
relevant.
Yeah, of course.
So, uh, Star Trek is a long-lived and beloved show that started in like the '60s, right?
Sure.
There's another long-lived beloved show from Britain that started in the '60s called Doctor Who.
Oh yeah.
Um, that's
Yeah.
had some controversy, with some of the like the more recent episodes with they had a gay doctor. Before that, they had Jodie Whittaker. They had a female doctor or whatever. I was fine with all that, but they I think explored more of like the different relationships. Like they introduced a character on Doctor Who named Captain Jack Harkness, who
Okay.
was omnisexual,
Oh.
and they had it.
Why
That
don't you
was
why
kind of a
don't why
joke.
don't you explain that for a second? What is omnisexual?
So in Doctor Who, and of course the same thing in Star Trek, you have um, you have aliens, and you mentioned the gay Klingon with the human, right? That's
Sure.
that's uh, that would be considered,
Specific.
I guess you could say, omnisexual, like where the race, like Klingon or Romulan or
Yep. Keep.
whatever. It doesn't matter. So
Mic
with
off.
Jack Harkness, he was a notoriously promiscuous character. But then they did a spin-off well they notoriously promiscuous with any race or gender. So but that was more of a joke in the Doctor Who show. Um, and then they did a spin-off called Torchwood, where they actually originally it started off kind of lighthearted, but a couple of the later seasons got real serious and dark, and actually delved into there was a he had a gay partner back in the 1930s or whatever, and they kind of explored that relationship and the physical. They got into some of the physical
Mic on.
like actual lovemaking scenes. They,
Oh
they
my.
were a bit more graphic than I was expecting for a Doctor Who
Oh my.
spinoff. But but it was. I mean, but in the framing of that show, it might have seemed out of place in Doctor Who the because Doctor Who sex was more of an implied thing.
Sure.
Amy Pond and Rory. Amy got pregnant on the TARDIS, so yes, they had sex. They mention it, but they don't. But in Torchwood, they actually got into like the making out and some of the physical
Sure.
parts of that. So, but it didn't feel out of place in the framing of Torchwood, whereas it might have in Doctor Who. Star Trek, they had excuse me, they had that episode with Femke Jensen. Remember that one where she was like the perfect lover for any man? Like,
Uh.
and they're supposed to like, she was like promised to like some kind of emissary, and
Oh.
she kind of turned Riker on, and then he's like, when he dropped her off at her quarters, he says, Riker to the bridge. I'll be in Holodeck 3 if you need me. It's like,
I
what's he gonna
vaguely.
do now?
I mean, yeah, that's all like a true things. I will just say, yeah, I mean, there were several risque episodes in Next Generation, even like with Picard, for instance, where they did not entirely go about their duties. That said, again, it was like you have to imagine like the 90s. I mean, what a time. I mean, I honestly can't. I mean, because I was just like a child. I mean, I don't even
Yeah.
like know everything about then. But I will say, like at the time, like sexual harassment was just like a thing coming out. Harassment was not necessarily known about to everyone, but it was like a thing.
Yeah.
People, it was in the discussion like area, but like they had Star Trek had to be progressive, so they also had to have like several episodes where like the female was like the instigator or the one who was trying to, like, for example, I mean, you could just, as an example,
Hero.
Data and Tasha. Data and Tasha had sex, and Data mentions it like way like after God, I don't even remember what her name is, but yeah, Tasha Yar, the Denise Crosby. Denise Crosby was the name of the actress. Denise Crosby wasn't even on the show for like years, and then finally, like, Brent Spiner, who played, Data, finally mentions, he's like, yes, I've had sex once with Tasha Yar, and it's like, that was like a huge, at the time, it was like, oh, you and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, obviously they had sex that one time. I mean, that was like, I don't know. Anyways, long story short, there were instances of discussion that were kind of sensitive at the time, but now looking back on it, it was like no big deal, right? Like, again, yeah, that the instance with Denise Crosby was not like,
Yeah,
or
you know what?
Tasha Yar was not a big deal.
The instance with Data and Denise Crosby or Tasha
Remember,
Yar
because he
having
had the
sex.
little
Does that
hologram thing.
does that reframe the measure of a man?
No,
Data episode?
no, it doesn't.
No,
Actually, if
I'm
anything, it
kidding.
reinforces it.
Mike,
Actually, I
I'm
think
making
it
a
reinforces.
joke. I'm
Okay.
making a joke.
Okay, thanks, Data. No, just kidding. Thanks, Data. You made a joke. None of us
It
understand
was
it.
7 inches. I don't know.
Well, okay,
Are you
seven.
getting my
Okay,
reference there, Greg?
Okay, 7 of 9. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, no, I was not trying to make a Voyager reference.
You're only
I
7
don't.
of 9 inches
Did
here.
my joke go over your head, Mike?
No, no, it hit. It hit.
Okay, okay. I just wanted to make
I feel it right here on my forehead, and it's your penis. No, wait. It's your penis, and it's right here, and I
I'm
feel
on
it, and
not even Brent Spiner.
I need to go back a second here. But anyways, long story short, yeah, that's some of the things explained on the show needed to be re-examined, let's just say, especially at the time, because they were not completely like a thing that was on the level. Later on, they proved to be very much so, like they were pushing the envelope. But at the time, there were certain things that happened that were not considered, whatever. And again, look at it from my point of view. I was a child. I was watching a show that was way outside of my scope and my view, and I was talking to it every morning with another guy who was like my same age. Again, we're children, so Uh-oh.
Got somebody saying hi.
Is that Susie?
Yeah,
Is
Susie.
that Psycho Susie?
They called her that. She's anything but psycho. She's just a little excited sometimes.
Oh.
So
She has a nice birthmark on her face. That looks nice.
is that a birthmark?
Or whatever it is. I don't know.
So, no, I think it's
Actually, she has one on both sides.
She's got a little, like,
Yeah.
whiskers coming out there.
Oh, is that
So
what
I
it
think
is? Oh, I don't know. Whatever it is. Whatever it is, I don't know.
When I
She looks
when I first got
lovely.
her, they're like,
She looks
Psycho
lovely.
Susie, she chases her tail. I'm like, dogs chasing their tails doesn't make them psycho.
She seems lovely, Tom. I don't know what I'm saying.
She is. She's a babe. But
anyways, long story short, going back to what we're talking about. I mean, take what you can from the conversation. I mean, there are going to be things that we don't 100% agree on or understand or whatever. Anyways, I don't know.
But it seems like a lot of the things we talk about come back to Star Trek Next Gen. I don't know how many times have we been playing D&D or whatever, or role playing games with our group.
Sure.
And we'll like post a meme from Star Trek,
Sure.
But
well, I would just say, like at this point, we're probably wrapped up here in a knot we can't get out of. But all right, Tom, if you don't have anything else, I'd probably conclude our discussions for tonight.
Um,
I mean, unless you have something
and if
else.
you would like us to do an episode with me looking, maybe in full troll makeup, which I'm kidding about the troll thing, the haircut, whatever. But if you guys want me to be in a troll getup in a future episode, comment below.
Or you
But
want to
if you don't like
see,
it, subscribe.
if you want to
More
see
cut
me
in your
with
face.
something,
Self-mutilation.
yeah, something without a zit on my chin, you can let us know that too, I guess. All right, Tom, I
By
will.
the way, I'm not going to volunteer for another brick to the face. I did that when I was a kid. I survived. I'm too old for that shit now.
I would
Oh,
not
and
have suggested
Budweiser.
it. Oh yeah,
Try it if. Yeah, I mean, it was fine.
it's okay. Yeah,
It's fine.
it's not bad. It's all right. Yeah. All right, my friends.
Budweiser, you can pay us for this, by the way.
Exactly. They could. All right. We'll see you later. Bye.
Good night.